sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
All right. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to the Pawa Morning Drive show with me and Wanyoike. We are on Power Radio, where you tune in and power up. Yes, and it is Friday. Thank God it's Friday. It's been a busy week. A lot has been happening in the country as usual. We will be chatting a little bit about that later on the program. But welcome. Let me know where you are tuning in from. I am coming to you live from sunny Nairobi. I do know that we have audience members from South Africa, Rwanda, Burundi, Congo. Tuambieni jamani, Kampala. Thank you so much, everybody who has decided that this is the show of their choice, waking up with us each and every morning as well. Alrighty, you can get in touch with us on our social media handles. We are Power Radio across Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. We are also on X. We can also be found streaming live on our YouTube channel. That is Power Radio, Pawa Radio. And please subscribe if you have not yet subscribed. And thank you so much to all our subscribers. We've been seeing your love day by day, gaining followers and subscribers. And we just want to say thank you so much. And you can also find us on our website, www.power254.org/Power Radio. All right. Let me just give you a brief of what to expect on today's show. We cruise all the way till 10 in the a.m. I start off with the day's traffic updates. Need to know what exactly the city is looking like. And by the way, if you're coming into town, know that water canisters are already in the... Yes, there are water canisters. Of course, yesterday we saw the Mandamano, the riots about Albert Ojwang's killing, and so I think the police force has been already instituted. Not I think, I passed through town today and I saw water canisters myself in some major streets across the CBD. So be aware. I think there might be ongoing protests today as well. But then after we do the traffic updates, we get into what has been making headlines. Of course, the two big stories that we are going to look at this entire week is Albert Ojwang, what has happened since his brutal killing. And then, of course, yesterday, the Cabinet Secretary, John Mbadi of Treasury, was able to break down the budget 2025-2026. So we shall be breaking some of the information down. Who are the big earners? Who are the big losers in the budget? Does it make sense for the public? What does that portend for your pockets? Are you gonna dig deeper into your pocket as a taxpayer? So we will get into that chat right after I do this quick traffic updates. All right, let's start off with Thika Road, and as usual is looking quite busy this morning. I can see that traffic starts all the way from KCA University and goes all the way down towards town. Murang'a Road is not too shabby this morning, just a little bit of a snarl up as you go towards the roundabout, Globe roundabout there. Let's see what's happening along Kiambu Road. Kiambu Road, Pia, nothing much to complain about this morning. There's only just a little bit of a snarl up as you go from Karura, the DCI area there, but it soon clears out after that, only to build up as you go towards the Thika Road, Muthaiga Square, Nairobi area. Let's see what's happening along Limuru Road. Limuru Road is looking busy, actually very, very busy this morning. Traffic starts as you go into Village Market, all the way down towards the Muthaiga area, and then later on spills over towards the Aga Khan Drive as well. It's also looking busy this morning is Red Hill Link Road. Just a little bit of a snarl up there as you go towards the Wanyoike Way main road as well. Peponi Road is also absolute madness, and it starts at as you go from Kwetu, Nairobi, that area, all the way till Zizoro, all the way down towards the Westgate Shopping Mall along Mwanzi Road, looking very, very busy this morning. A same situation also happening along Lower Kabete Road. First of all, I think there is there's an event happening along at the Kenya School of Government. So expect a heavy traffic today if you're coming from Owaka. That's the situation happening right there. Let's see. Wanyoike Way, nothing much to complain about. You guys are cruising nice and easy. Parklands Road also cruising nice and easy. There's only just a little bit of a snarl up there as you go towards the Museum of Illusions, Nairobi. Ojijo Road, busy as usual, but moving. It's moving, so not much to complain about. Kikambala Road is as clear as it can get this morning. You guys are looking very, very good as well. Let's see what is on the James Gishuru Road. Is madness, absolute madness. You guys. Also Kingara Road looking very busy as well, especially as you go into and from the Junction Mall. So Naivasha Road as well. Let's look at Ngong Road and its environs. Naivasha Road is looking good this morning. Not much to complain about. The southern bypass kidogo kumeshikana pale, but then again as you spill over towards Ngong Road it clears out, but nenda kushikana pale hivyo as you go towards the Coptic Hospital, Prestige Plaza area, all the way down towards the Kenyatta roundabout. Right, let's see what is happening on Raila Odinga Road. Not looking bad actually this morning. Traffic is just a little bit of a traffic there as you go from the T-Mall area, and Langata Road is also looking quite good today. Not much to complain about. Kuna kasnal up to pale kidogo as you go from the Western Hotel areas, Wilson Airport, all the way down towards the T-Mall area essentially. All right, let's see what's happening on Mombasa Road, and nothing much to complain about actually. Mombasa Road looking quite clear this morning. The traffic only happens to be only just at the Capital Center area, but after that is actually pretty clear all the way down even towards Bunyala Road. So you guys are looking a-okay. All right, let's see what's happening on Jogoo Road. Jogoo Road is absolute madness. It starts all the way from Outer Ring Road at the intersection towards Makadara. So you guys, if you can find an alternative route, please help yourself. Right, as you go from Embakasi towards the Cabanas bus stop, also very, very busy this morning. A lot of traffic. Incidentally, the southern bypass is looking A1. Nothing much to complain about, and that leads us to the end of our traffic updates this morning. Let me take a breather. When we come back, we get into the budget, the budgetary allocations that were read yesterday by the CS of Treasury, Mr. John Mbadi, and what it portends for you as a Kenyan. And also we shall be talking about the protest that was happening yesterday across major streets in the CBD, and what we can take from that. And of course, following very closely the Albert Ojwang probe, some two police officers that were under investigation have been arrested due to the connections to the murder of Albert Ojwang. So that conversation coming right after this short musical break. We'll be right back.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio. Nobody else can match my energy. Chili come my chili come my GL.
Nani cheesy kama yeah. I've been faded, I've been naked, in different places, many faces, X-rated, yeah. I've been patient, I've been waiting. No other one that's come around can do the things you do. Who keep come around, we smoke a lot, Canadian pot, cheese and bomb. Catch a wine, dance along, bounce along, baby, bounce along. Wine and dine, made your mind, it's a clear sign that no other one that's come around can do the things you do. Nobody else can match my energy. Cheesy come on, yeah, yeah. Cheesy come on, yeah, yeah. We up all night and still we tryna be busy on the AM. Cheesy come on, yeah, 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 yeah. Cheesy come on, yeah, yeah. Cheesy come on, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Cheesy come on, yeah, yeah. Cheesy come on, yeah.
I've been faded, serenaded, celebrated. Ooh, very patient. See, I'm not so complicated. Ooh, kakoma on my mind. Your toes are juicy, align. Wanyoike, pick a sign. Kisha underline. Only free because you let me be. That's the love I want for me. Long time was so baridi. Can't deny the chemistry. You can come on my mind. Took a alive. Took a bigger sign.
Nobody else can match my energy. Cheesy come on, yeah, yeah. Cheesy come on, yeah, yeah. We up all night and still we tryna be busy on the AM. Cheesy come on, yeah, 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 yeah. Cheesy come on, yeah, yeah. Come on, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Cheesy come on, yeah, yeah. Cheesy come on, yeah, yeah. Cheesy come on, yeah, yeah. Come on, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Cheesy come on, yeah, yeah. Cheesy come on, yeah, yeah.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up. Tune in and power up.
All right, that is Sincere by Nameless, and it's playing right here on Power Radio. This is the Power Morning Drive Show. My name is Anne Wanyoike, and we will be cruising all the way till 10 in the AM together. Right now, let me just take a quick glance at the papers, and the Daily Nation. The cover story is Ojwang Death Fury. All right, pandemonium. The murder of Albert Ojwang in police custody snowballed into a national security nightmare. I'm not so sure about nightmare, but oh well. Yesterday, with Nairobi city centre plunged into an orgy of violence, the violent protests that saw some people injured and vehicles torched coincided with the morning appearance in Parliament by security chiefs and overshadowed Treasury Cabinet Secretary John Mbadi's maiden budget speech in the afternoon. That is a story that goes on page 2, 3, 4, and 5 of the Daily Nation. And then on top of that, we also have Mbadi explores 70 billion shillings, Adani type deals, a story that continues on page 6 and 7 of the Daily Nation. The Standard is looking also not different from what the Daily Nation has captured also as well. Fury against Lagat is a story that is highlighted on the cover page of the Standard with some very gruesome photos. Yesterday we saw cars vandalized, burning, the looting of like for example trash cans across the city, across some streets in the CBD during the anti-Eliud Lagat protest. But really the protests were for demanding justice for Albert Ojwang. And on the Standard newspaper it says Budget Day is meant to chart a nation's future, but in Kenya the past came roaring back. Protesters overran the streets demanding the immediate arrest of Deputy IG Eliud Lagat over the brutal killing of Albert Ojwang. What should have been John Mbadi's defining moment was drowned in tear gas and defiance as chants of no justice, no budget shook the capital. Lagat faces growing pressure to step aside, but silence from the top only fuels the fire. This is a story that continues on page 2, 3, 4, 6, and 7 of the Standard newspaper. So obviously, it's an ongoing probe, but so far we can attest that we have two police officers that have been named in the ongoing probe as well. And yesterday, speaking, the representative of the NIS, Mr. Was it Ahmed? I forget his name. I'm sorry, I'm forgetting his name. I should not forget his name. He said that there were people that were communicated to sort of tamper with the evidence, and they deleted the CCTV footage of the brutal murder of Albert Ojwang. So it's now they have to go and again look at the backup systems for the investigations of that led towards the murder of Albert Ojwang. But something that again is outstanding for this time around, is the continuous support from the public. I think the public is in this time very aware, and by the way, a very good breakdown during yesterday's show with James Wanyoike. If you've not yet caught up with that conversation, I would urge you to go and listen in. It's on our Pawa Radio YouTube channel. He was able to really break down exactly what the Albert Ojwang situation is and kind of contextualize it to us. So shout out to James Wanyoike for that as well. But yes, I think for me, it's the continuous support from the public. I think the public is getting more and more aware of their power, or perhaps they have always known that they have the power, and now they are choosing to walk in that authority of just kind of pulling all their efforts together, rallying up against the powers that be, rallying up against the systems that do not work for the good of the public. Someone might argue that what is it for them that Albert Ojwang was killed? But then again, it's the spirit of the people of Kenya. It's that spirit of togetherness and unity and harmony. And it's very refreshing to see that it's not what politicians or the political class would want to see, where Kenyans come together and, kind of rally up for the good of their people, or fighting against these institutionalized violations, against human rights, against bad governance, So I think it's the times that we are living in right now, more and more sentiment towards the organizing spirit from the public is something that I think we are going to see a lot of, because it's refreshing to know that after all is said and done, after the political gimmicks are played on us, we really just all have each other. The 50-something million, we just have each other, and we cannot stop at this. We cannot even for a second let down our tools and forget that our unity is what I think. There's a statement that I keep hearing, that when we unite, when we unite, the political class becomes powerless, or something like that. That people power is something that is fought a lot by the political class, because it kind of reckons a threat, to the institutions and whatever, and the agents of the institutions that continuously take away our rights and freedom. So this is not the last that we are going to hear about the Albert Ojwang case. It's still a story that is unfolding. The many questions that Kenyans have right now is why would they kill them? Up to now, we've not even seen the tweet that was in question. Will Eliud Lagat step down? What happens after that? Because again, it's not, and I like us to not forget forget that it's not usually about the individuals that are within the underpinnings of systems and institutions in Kenya. It would be very unfortunate and sad and naive of us to think that just because Eliud Lagat will step down, that now it's the end of all our problems. No, absolutely not. We like, and we've seen history repeating itself, is that we replace problems with bigger problems. So if today Eliud Lagat is the problem, tomorrow we might be talking about some person X or Y who is even much of a bigger problem. So in as much as we want, yes, to hold him accountable, because this time, like the murder of Albert Ojwang happened during his reign and under his ward, under his authority, so to speak, allegedly. So might I add that it's also very unbecoming of us to think that just because he will step down, then all our problems go out with the window. Absolutely not. I think for us, the thing is to just really look for ways to deal with the root cause of all our problems, which is mostly systemic. That individuals do not come to serve something that is not founded. Individuals come to serve a system that has been instituted. Individuals come to propel the narratives of systems that they find in places. Individuals come to serve, which is unfortunate. I mean, you should. It's quite a big job to be the Deputy Inspector General. You would think that the police service is instituted for the protection of the public of Kenya. Ordinary kama Mkenya wa kawaida, but no. What we've seen over time and time again is that they're here to serve the self-serving systems that are not good for the common mwananchi. So I think the conversation really has to, yes, hold Eliud Lagat accountable by all means. If he has to be fired, if he has to step down and go below the ranks, let him do that. Let us see that looking like that. Let's see us looking at justice being that it is accountability for the people that are in one way or the other, directly or indirectly, were part of this very gruesome act and violation against Ojwang. But beyond the individuals also, we could talk about police brutality and whether IPOA is even helping in any way to hold these systems accountable. But beyond that, let's really focus our attention and details on the systemic issues more than the individuals of the system. So yes, so I mean, this is definitely a conversation that cannot end here today. We'll definitely keep tracking the story as it unfolds, because it will obviously unfold more and more and more. So let's see what that kind of looks like. All right, but moving quite along, of course, yesterday was a big day for budget. It was almost 1.5 hours of a speech by the Cabinet Secretary of the Cabinet Secretary of Treasury, John Buddy, yesterday, giving us a breakdown of what the budget is going to look like come 2025-2026. And I want us to just see some of the big earners, big losers. What was the theme of the budget? I mean, it was quite a lot, very, very much that came out of that. But before we do that, let me take a quick break. We come back and we get into that breakdown of the budget. What are the allocations that went into education, security? What does that mean for the education sector? I hear that people taking alcohol are happy because there's not going to be a lot of money, that they're going to pay less for their bottle. So there's a lot to unpack there. So let's take a quick breather. We come back and we get into that discussion. Keep it Power Radio.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio. kama nani? Eti niachane mume wako nani? Unajua Nadia kweli mimi nani?
We ni nani? Unampigia simu kama nani? Hata utoe vya ndani, atarudi hapa kwangu tu nyumbani.
Anapenda vidogo dogo, mwenzako anavimumunya. Mwanamke unapenda zogo, tafuta jambo hilo la kufanya. Oh, ni wangu, huyo nasema ni wangu. Oh, ni wangu, kubali aishe ni wangu.
Oh, ni wangu, huyo nasema ni wangu. Oh, ni wangu, mwishowe ataisha ni wangu. Hivyo vimeseji na kuficha simu havinishtui. Atachoka nawe, wengine aende, yule hakagui.
Kelele ya chura haizui ng'ombe kunywa maji. Kwangu habanduki, kwako hatoboki, na kwa maana ye
anapenda wife material, mwenzako anakudanganya. Mwanamke una kasoro, tafuta jambo hilo la kufanya. Oh, ni wangu, huyo nasema ni wangu. Oh, ni wangu, mwishowe ataisha ni wangu.
oh, ni wangu, huyo nasema ni wangu. Oh, ni wangu, kubali aishe ni wangu. Mi sitakoma, koma, koma, koma. Mi sitakoma, koma, koma, mama.
Ntakukomboa, komboa, komboa, komboa. Ntakukomboa, komboa, komboa, msichana we. Oh, ni wangu, huyo nasema ni wangu. Oh, ni wangu, mwishowe ataisha ni wangu.
Oh, ni wangu, huyo nasema ni wangu. Oh, ni wangu, kubali aishe ni wangu.
Oh, ni wangu, huyo nasema ni wangu. Oh, ni wangu, mwishowe ataisha ni wangu.
Oh, ni wangu, huyo nasema ni wangu. Oh, ni wangu, kubali aishe ni wangu. Power Radio. Tune in and power up. Oh my God, Flick made it.
Sound Chief. Shauri mwenzi unataka, nimekuwa na wazo na kuwaza daily, strika unanipata. It might sound crazy, la wendo nataka. Ukiona nafurahi ujue ni wewe, kama mapacha tunafanana. Tena na visifa vingi miupatia. Oh, she sometimes says I'm so funny. Nabadilisha kina badili paka gear. Oh, minampa burudani. Malaika wangu kipenzi, ukiniona na kuita ujue siwezi. Yani umenishika pumzi na penzi. You my love, wendo mwenyewe, oh baby. Sina ubaya nawe, sina ubaya. Sina ubaya, sina ubaya nawe, sina ubaya. Sina ubaya, sina ubaya nawe, sina ubaya. Sina ubaya, sina ubaya nawe, sina ubaya. Sina ubaya. You want me to assure you that I'm ready for you. You want me to promise that yes, I love you and it's true. Baby, come give me your love. I promise you never go tired. Nitakupenda, nitakupa mapenzi solo, yani mpaka uritaya. Baby, baby, baby. Siniogope wenipende, baby, baby. Malaika wangu kipenzi, ukiniona na kuita ujue siwezi, yani umenishika pumzi na penzi. You my love, wendo mwenyewe, oh baby. Sina ubaya nawe, sina ubaya, sina ubaya, sina ubaya nawe, sina ubaya, sina ubaya, sina ubaya nawe, sina ubaya, sina ubaya, sina ubaya nawe, sina ubaya, sina ubaya nawe.
Please give me more beats.
Sound you.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
All right, welcome back. That is Elechi with Sina Ubaya, and it's playing right here on Power Radio. This is the Power Morning Drive show. My name is Wanyoike, and right, let's get right into the budget 2025-2026 as read by the CS of Treasury yesterday, Thursday, at in Parliament, and it was actually a lot to unpack there. But let me just read you. So the national government has unveiled a 4.29 trillion budget for the 2025-2026 financial year, with education, national security and infrastructure emerging as the biggest beneficiaries. Now, the Treasury Cabinet Secretary, according to Citizen Digital, John Mbadi, addressing the National Assembly on Thursday, said the budget focuses on stimulating economic recovery and creating jobs under the bottom-up economic transformation agenda. They called it the BETTER, with continued investments in manufacturing, ICT, and the creative economy. Now, some of the big earners was education sector, which received the largest allocation with 702.7 billion Kenya shillings, which includes 387.2 billion Kenya shillings going towards the Teacher Service Commission, and then a whopping 58.9 billion Kenya shillings was set aside for free primary and secondary education, and 58.5 billion Kenya shillings for higher education loans and scholarships. The security sector comes in closely with an allocation of 464.9 billion Kenya shillings, with funds directed towards the operations of the National Police Service and the Kenya Defence Forces and the National Intelligence Service. The allocation includes 10 billion for leasing police vehicles, 3.6 billion for modernization programs, and 1.1 billion for the construction of national forensic facilities. County governments will receive 474.9 billion shillings, with 405, that's 405.1 billion Kenya shillings as equitable share, and the rest through conditional allocations from the national government and development partners. Now, something that you also need to note about the infrastructure development, there was an allocation of 318.1 billion Kenya shillings, and we also have some other allocations for energy, railways, air transport, and things like that. Then the healthcare sector was allocated 133.4 billion Kenya shillings as well, within the total budget, right? Then agriculture got 47.6 billion Kenya shillings to support farmers through import subsidies, value chain development, and food security initiatives as well. Then we also have 41.3 billion Kenya shillings allocated for social protection programs, including cash transfers to elderly persons, orphans, and vulnerable groups of people. So as you can see, and I know this is something that we can definitely delve into deeper with an economist, but there's so many things that can be spoken about on that breakdown. But let me just take you through some of the things that the cabinet secretary was able to break down also during his speech yesterday as cabinet secretary. I think this must have been his very first, if I'm not wrong, this was his first appearance before the House as the cabinet secretary of Treasury. So some of the things that he was able to mention during his speech is that the social health insurance has seen an increase of 175% in membership. We also heard him talk about how the affordable housing project has given birth to 250,000 jobs for housing and institutionalized housing as well, and given jobs to young Kenyans from that. He was also able to touch on the increase of fiber optics and, the connectivity that has increased with 53, has seen an increase up to 53%. He also was able to talk about the increasing digital hubs that has moved from 350 digital hubs back in 2022 to 20,000 digital hubs in 2025. So that's an increase there from 2022. Right. They also was able to talk about the access to energy generation, stating that there has been an increase in our power supply to 3,000 megawatts as well, and said that the electricity connectivity has moved from an 8.9 million connections to 10 million connections from 2022 to 2025 within that predisposition. Then something about the education system. He said that his treasury during his reign, they've been able to institute the information education management system that is supposed to go and help with the CBC. That's the curriculum-based, the competence-based curriculum that is supposed to aid the education system and to ensure that it is up to par. He was also able to ensure that some of these budgetary allocations were not just arrived at without the views from the public. And so during their time, and he did mention that the government rather has been able to conduct some inclusive policy making in ventures and platforms, including heightened media appearance across Mombasa, Nairobi, Eldoret, Nyeri, to kind of get the public's opinion on the same budget allocations. And he did say that Kenyans were not at any given point across those major cities and towns across the nation. They were not very welcoming to the budgetary allocations as it stands, with them citing three very main key pain points. One of them being overtaxation, and of course, this is a conversation that has always been going on, especially mostly heightened during the finance bill of June 2024. That is not a conversation that has lost momentum. We are still talking about it up to now, which, rightfully so. We have to talk about it because it's something that affects us directly. We also had Kenyans also citing that there is a very big unemployment and underemployment problem, and CS Mbadi was able to share some insights of what the government is doing to help curb that problem. And then finally, the views from the public according to CS Mbadi was that government expenditure and wastage was one of the things that the public was very, very adamant to talk about and term as something that should not be happening, especially when we live in a country that is very economically tumultuous. We are seeing job losses, budget cuts here and there, left, right, and center. The high cost of living is not making it better in any way. So there's so many things that kind of the presentation by the CS of Treasury was able to bring up. So in response to this, he did say that the government has broad areas recommended, and of course the big one is taxation, and they're looking into lowering taxation from the budget allocations that come from it. Also, they did say that they're looking at streamlining regulatory, the regulations of revenue revenue, and what then turns into revenue allocations as to speaks in towards the budget and the taxation as well. We also had him talk about the enhancing liquidity in the economy, that this is something that the government is trying to figure out. How do they ensure that they enhance liquidity in the economy, which means that more money should be circulating to more Kenyans' pockets, instead of it being as it is right now, with only a few people having power to money, and that money is not well circulated within the greater population. Then the other thing that they were able to that he was able to raise as a recommendation is promotion of good governance on public finance, and to which he actually said that they are working. He has with his leadership, he's launched the e-procurement system, which is supposed to be a system that helps with the accountability and integrity of transfers, whatever it is, whether it's the inclusion or the reduction of the opaqueness that happens or that comes with the issues around public finance and integrity issues, because of course we live in Kenya, and I mean we are talking about 2 billion shillings that are always lost in one way or the other due to corruption. So it would be interesting to see what that e-procurement system is going to look like. How do we navigate that? Will it be in public domain? Can the public be... Does the public have the opportunity to even assess whether it works? Does the public have the opportunity to assess how well it's being used, and is its intended purpose to kind of streamline issues of opaqueness and kind of optimize transparency as far as public finance and financial governance is concerned? What does that look like? And so it would be very, very interesting to see whether we are shooting ourselves in the foot here again, as always, or for once something is going to work as well. And of course, he called on the Auditor General to give a very good breakdown of what this new procurement system is going to look like as well. Then he also mentioned things to do with the zero-based budgeting and reduced revenue projections. This is something that has been going on for quite some time, but there's so many issues to talk about here. But I'm not the expert. What I can do is I can get an expert who is an economist, and we can come and just look at some of these things that were arising from the budgetary allocation and speech yesterday at Bunge. Right. And then he also did go into, of course, global issues, because we have to talk about the intersectional governance, where things, yes, can be local, but they are also happening within a global context. And one of the big issues right now that global conversations are looking like, or are looking into, or mostly where you find Western governments giving a big chunk of money, is to finance climate justice and climate change. And of course, here in Kenya, there's conversations around climate justice. And so, particularly as it pertains to the economy of Kenya, he did mention that climate works is something that the government has been able to do thus far, with creating a whopping 110,000 jobs for young people who are working within the climate works program, which is a social support paid work that he was able to mention there in terms of climate action. We also have him talking about the climate finance strategy that is yet to be instituted towards the public, yet to be flaunted also towards the public as well. And he also mentioned that they are working on a sustainability linked bond framework for the same, in terms of looking at climate and climate change, climate justice, and what Kenya's role is in ensuring that they are feeding into the bigger and the larger conversations, which of course the Sustainable Development Goals, the 17 Sustainable Development Goals instituted by the United Nations, and of course a big chunk of that is nations across the world are working towards feeding into that framework. So So some of the something that also you need to note is that apparently budgets have themes, and the theme for this year's budget was stimulating sustainable economic recovery for improved livelihoods, job creation, business, and industrial prosperity in line with the bottom-up economic transformation. That's the beta agenda as well. Right. So a lot. That I'm sure that was quite a lot to talk about, but it's just the beginning of it. I know that everybody is looking at the Finance Bill 2025, and if passed, what does that portend and what does that look like for the public as well? So if that's just a little bit of a breakdown of some of the things that were able to be emergent issues from the budget reading 2025-2026, and that leads us to the end of our international daily our dailies, and looking at what has been making rounds in the news segment today. But as we go into our conversation today, I am joined by the president and the vice president from the Youth Parliament of Kenya, and we are going to be looking at young people at the center of reimagining parliament and also governance and rulership as well. So it's a conversation that you do not want to miss out on. So see you after this short break.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Jealousy, always comparing myself to you. Sometimes I feel like I overdo. Sometimes I feel like I'm over you. Sangin, I feel like I have no clue. Sangin, miwaga moods. Sometimes I act a fool. Sangin, ninachoma sana. Sometimes tunakosana. Sometimes I act too cool. Sangin, you act a fool. Sometimes you drive me crazy. I swear I drive you crazy. Consistent, consistency, consistent, consistently, consistent, consistency, consistent, consistent, day by day, 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 day by day. Consistent, consistently. Anxiety, naanza tabia za self-sabotage. Naanza tabia za overjudge. Naanza kujifungia, naanza kujikazia. Mwenzio nafunga hisia. Sometimes I feel so blue. Sometimes I have no clue. Sangine unachoma sana. Sometimes tunakosana. Sangine ninapotea. Sometimes unanikosea. Sometimes you drive me crazy. I swear I drive you crazy. Consistent, consistency, consistent, consistently, consistent, consistency, consistent,
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
Road trips and young romances, breakups and second chances. Our rhythm steers through all these years. If love is a drum, you are my drummer. I'll dance to your beat only forever. If love is a drum, you are my drummer. I'll dance to your beat. My sukuti love. Is it good for me? Is it good for me? My sukuti love. Is it good for me? Is it good for me? Ringing the one ding ding, then the boom boom boom. Adding my nyatiti, then it's me and you. My sukuti love. Is it good for me? Is it good for me? Is it good? Heartbeats and stolen glances, oceans and wedding marches. Our music plays through all these days. If love is a drum, you are my drummer. I'll dance to your beat only forever. If love is a drum, you are my drummer. I'll dance to your beat. My sukuti love. Is it good for me? Is it good for me? My sukuti love. Is it good for me? Is it good for me? Ringing the one ding ding, then the boom boom boom. Adding my nyatiti, then it's me and you. My sukuti love. Is it good for me? Is it good for me? Is it good? If you wanna know the power of my love, it's not a feeling, it's an action word. You can never give it to me too much, too much. If you wanna know the power of my love, it's not a feeling, it's an action word. You can never give it to me too much, too much. My sukuti love. Is it good for me? My sukuti love. If you wanna know the power of my love, it's not a feeling, it's an action. My sukuti love. Give it to me too much, too much.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Akia, Akia. Ninaoga jamani, ninaoga. Sielewi nini inatendeka, kwa sababu vile wajitolea kunipenda mimi sijazoea. Ninawaza na tena ninapanga vile mimi naweza kutoroka. Hisia zangu ambazo zinapanda zinanifanya kuogopa. Walolo yaye, uokuta. Walolo yaye, Akia, Akia. Walolo yaye, Akia kakaidwani ya heri. I've always dreamed of a love like this, a man who loved me so perfectly. How can it be now that you're with me? I can't seem to believe that this is for real. Unakazana, unakazana, nakataa. Wajaribu kusukuma nakataa, nimejenga ukuta kaziba ufa uwezi ingia.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
All right, welcome back. That is Miss Sero with Akia, and it's playing right here on Power Radio. This is a Power Morning Drive show. My name is Anne Wanyoike, and as promised, we are going to get into our discussion this morning. I am joined by the President and CEO of the Youth Parliament of Kenya, Mr. Owaka, Maxwell. It's really good to have you this morning. Join us. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you feeling? How are you doing?
I'm good, and thank you very much.
Awesome. Karibu sana Power Radio.
Thank you.
Yeah, so let's just jump right into it. You can start by introducing yourself and a little bit about the work that you do at YPK.
All right. I'm Owaka Maxwell, the President of the Youth Parliament of Kenya. At YPK, our main goal is to promote good governance.
Right.
I think governance, we have not gotten it right, and that's why Kenya has a lot of challenges, and the youth is left behind. So our work at YPK is to see that good governance is promoted. We need accountability, transparency in all that is being done. Yes.
Right. Why was the YPK formed, and when was it formed?
The journey of YPK gets back to 2019.
Okay.
It's a long journey. In 2019, the idea was conceived. We didn't manage to register the organization then due to several challenges. Then the coronavirus struck. Then moving forward 2021, now when we were now unveiling the idea to the youth, we had people of like-minded, young people of the like-minded. They came together, they sat down and agreed that we can form a movement that look into the youth matters and youth affairs. That 2021, we tried to register the organization, and due to its nature, there were a lot of challenges in the registration process. A lot had to be adjusted to conform with the rules that governs the registration processes. Now we didn't manage in 2021, and also in 2022, we still had a lot of problems. Just moving forward, the registration of the YPK became valid in 2023 December, on 18th.
Yeah.
And we received our certificate on 2024. That's last year in January. So since then, we have been doing mobilization, trying to talk to the youth to join the movement. The main reason why YPK was formed, as I had stated, is to promote good governance. And any elite out there understand and knows that good governance involves things like accountability and transparency and the respect to the rule of law. Now, we wanted the youth voice to be heard. And for us to engage and ensure that the youth voices are heard, we came up with a formation of parliament. We are taking a replica of the National Assembly so that the youth can also learn. Apart from promoting good governance, we also want the youth to learn and understand how governance work, how the structures work. So we took the replica of the National Assembly and the county assemblies, of course, because we are going to have county youth parliaments and the national youth parliament. We have done our elections that we achieved about 21%.
Okay.
And currently we are organizing by-elections.
Okay.
And we are also geared towards officially launching the organization in August 30th this year. So that will bring all the youths also to understand and join the movement. Then we'll start the parliamentary debates where we will be having our bills, pass them. We are working towards partnering with National Assembly. We are about to initiate that so that they are now like the lead, but they can be mentors to the young generation in our parliaments. So whatever we'll discuss in our bills, if we pass our bills and we think it's something viable, then we can take it through the National Assembly for consideration.
Yeah.
If it is worth, then it can be taken to the President of the Republic of Kenya and be made law that can govern the country in the favor of the young generation. Yes.
So because you are the president, were you also elected into this position? Or?
Yes, of course, I was elected to this position.
Okay. Yes. So I'm very curious to know, why was it important for you at YPK to model it after the real parliament in Kenya? And what do you think that does to the young people that engage YPK in also understanding actually the real process that goes on the electoral process in Kenya?
We are trying to move away from going to the streets at the YPK. We believe that dialogue is something that is very important. We believe that when people are well informed, they can have the space. And if you look at the representation, youths are not very much represented in these seats. They have a lot of challenges. So for youths even to get to the parliament, it's always a big problem.
Yes.
So we thought it wise that let's have a model for them to showcase their leadership skills, to showcase their power and what they have to offer, such that the rest of the country can also see that so and so in the Youth Parliament of Kenya has some brain that can take the country forward. So we are trying to create a space for them to also learn into leadership. You realize that in Parliament, the National Assembly, or even the Senate, there must be some people who have never talked. They're just there, they warm the seats.
To be seen,
then
not
they
to
go
be heard.
home.
Yes.
Yeah, because they were elected. We want to eradicate such kind of a thing by ensuring that whoever is being elected to the Parliament is somebody who can articulate issues. They can talk, they can raise the issues that the people they represent are in need of. Remember, the work of a parliamentarian, like the work of an MP, are only about three: representation, oversight, and legislation. The passing of the laws that are of benefit to the nation. Therefore, coming up with the model gives that space for the youth to learn, because they are the leaders. I normally believe and we advocate that youths are no longer leaders of tomorrow. They are leaders of today and tomorrow. Yeah, so what we are looking at and what we are really advocating for is inclusion. We need the youth to get their space. They need to really be included in governance, and that's what we are focusing on. But they will not be included if they don't speak out. So our slogan is your voice, your future. We want that voice in Parliament, in a parliamentary setup. Let us debate things. Let us articulate issues. Now the Finance Bill 2025 is out. You have seen people are debating around it. The youth could have a space to talk about this, internalize it, so that they can also understand more of it.
Yes.
We are also looking at people going through the issue of constitutionalism, where youth need to understand what our constitution is all about. Because we have realized that many young people are illiterate. They don't understand, and that's why the elite class take advantage of them. You know, information is power.
Yes.
And if you don't have that information, you are doomed.
Right. So since you said that the journey at the YPK started in 2019,
Yes.
And we are in 2025 as we speak, so close, give or take 6 years. How have you seen the shifts in young people, even with whether it's understanding, wanting to understand the governance space, whether it's them wanting to be a very active participants? Because for the longest time, we have had this narrative that young people are apathetic about what is happening around them politically and in terms of governance. So how have you seen the shift play out since 2019 and right now 2025? And has it been something that is kind of you're excited about the future of young people in terms of governance and them taking up spaces politically?
I think the shift is positive because many youths now want to lead. Before, they were afraid of taking leadership positions. If you can see in the space, people nowadays want to lead. You have seen just Morara has declared that he wants to run for the presidency. That's a youth, and he wants to lead. There are other many youths who wants to be in the leadership space, be it an MCA, MP, even up to the president, the governors. So the shift is positive. The only challenge they have is the financial muscle, because you realize that in this political space, money talks.
All right.
You see what they do, and that's where they cap the youth. And we are trying to advocate and try to pass out the information so that people can be elected on their ability. What we are trying to do, we are not going to engage into politics, but we want to train to have people who can be leaders so that when they involve in politics at their own individual level, people can see them and can understand them.
Yes.
And we have been sharing the idea with many people.
Yeah.
And we are glad Professor P.L. Lumumba has joined the Youth Parliament of Kenya as an advisor on public policy, leadership, and good governance. For somebody of PLO stature to join such an organization, it means that he has seen something positive in it. We are bringing in Christopher Kaemba, who is an educator and somebody else is well versed in education, who is coming in also as the advisor on education, youth development, and culture. So you see, we are trying to bring people on board who understand, people of good repute, people who can help us steer this and make sure that the youth have their space.
Right.
So the shift is positive.
The shift is positive. Let's talk about, of course, the YPK is largely by and by an organization set up for the young people. But there's a conversation ongoing about intergenerational dialogue, right? And I suppose that's why you have the likes of PLO, for example. You just talked about Christopher Kaemba. Why was it, what fresh idea or perhaps why is it important for YPK to be able to not throw away the old guard, because we do need them, right? You cannot have where we are going, they are living in where we are going as we speak right now. So what about that dynamic of intergenerational dialogue is kind of refreshing, so that even as we take up spaces as young people, we go with the wisdom of the old guard that has been. And what do you think, for example, somebody like PLO and Christopher Kaemba, as you've just stated, would bring in into the conversations that are going on at YPK and beyond? Okay,
as the youth,
we
don't expect also to take the leadership of the country as a whole, because to some extent experience matters. The old guards has got the experience. The only thing they need to do is just to be people of integrity and people who are willing to leave the space at certain point when other young generation and young blood comes in. We need the old guards to pass the knowledge that they have learned,
Right.
to train. The only problem normally comes
Yes.
when they normally tell us, wait, you are the leaders of tomorrow. Wait, and they're there. Somebody's 90 years,
Yeah.
80 years,
Yeah.
and they're still there.
Yeah.
They need to train. They need to mentor. They have not understood
Yeah.
what the mentoring is. They think that mentoring means that you'll just be by side, listen to what they do, you go on errands, and that's their mentoring, They need to give you space to lead. Having people like PLO, these are people who are well-versed, well-traveled, well-experienced. And with the experience they have, they can help us in developing policies that are of good standing to the country. Remember, PLO is somebody who is a Pan-African,
Yes.
is a Pan-Africanist, is somebody who understands what governance is
Yes.
very well, is an expert in that area. And since YPK is promoting good governance, with this advice, we are on the right track, because the advice he will be giving will be tailored towards what are the aspects that can make our country better in terms of governance.
Right. There's something that you spoke about earlier on, and this was towards mainstreaming of representation.
Yes.
A big frustration. I've talked to a lot of young people who want to be included at the decision-making table. They do say that they are only there to be seen and not to be heard. So how do we deal with the issue of tokenistic representation from young people and for young people? And how do we move even beyond just having them, just like a checker, just checking boxes. And yes, there was 1, 2, 3, 4 young people in this, whatever, whether it was a public forum. Yes, and how do we ensure that it is quite instituted and inculcated in each and every deliberation that we move with wherever young people's inclusion in this decision-making tables is concerned?
I think what the youth lack is knowledge. The youth has got power. Remember the Gen Z protest in 2024, where I feel also that Gen Z missed a point of saying that they are leaderless. There must be a leader even in the families for that thing to take the proper direction. You see, being leaderless made them to lose the track, and now they are revolving into the ethnicities. But the strong force that Gen Z had, that power is what the youth needs to embrace. They need to air their views. They need to have that voice. When they are knowledgeable and they are courageous enough, they will air their voice and take the space. You don't wait to be fed. You only need to get information. You only need to learn. Then you execute what is proper. Yeah, so they need the voice.
Right.
Yeah.
If you're just joining us, we are still talking to Maxwell Owaka. He is the president and CEO at the Youth Parliament Kenya. We are deep into the discussion today, talking about how do we mainstream young people's engagement in governance processes, also, them being politically active, and how do we go even beyond the streets? Yes, as he has said, it's important to go to the streets, but there's something that should be done on a systemic and structural point of view that we can start exploring. So let's go back to this discussion, because I think it's something that we cannot move away from. The 2027 elections, they are looming. They are with us right now. Ground inasema nini? What are young people saying as regarding to the 2027 elections? I mean, are young people, first of all, even talking about voter apathy alone, do we have enough young people in terms of voter registrations going on? What is that discussion look like? Ground inasema nini?
People are tired.
Okay.
And people want good leadership. The ground is stiff. But this is our nation. And we have to build it.
Right.
So many young people are showing interest to go for political seats, which we encourage.
Are you?
Because, no, I'm not going for one.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Okay.
I'm not let me build YPK
Okay.
and give the youth space.
But sometime.
No, not now. So I'm into leadership.
Right.
We have politics and we have leadership.
Yes.
We have a politician and we have a leader. Personally, I would really want to be a leader. I don't want to be a politician. A politician is self-interest. What do I gain? But a leader will look into what really affect my people. So on the ground is a bit stiff. People are really suffering, but we hope there will be adjustments. In 2027, youths normally, the turnout has not reached that point that is needed.
Yes.
They make a lot of noise.
Why do you think that is so?
Because just as I told you, there is something we call voter education. People need to understand the importance of voting. Why should I take an ID and go to the ballot? The youth need to understand that. And in that regard, there is something we are doing on it, actually. We are in talks. I'll not go into details, but we are in talks with IBC to partner with them in voter education and teaching the youth on who a good leader is. So that when it comes to 2027, they make their choice.
Right.
So there is something YPK is doing about that. So the youth need that knowledge for them to turn out and say, person X is not a good leader for us. Why should we take this person back to the office? If we give the person 5 years, I believe if you are given 5 years, you can do something tangible. I admire Traore, the president
Ibrahim.
of Burkina Faso.
Right.
What that guy is doing in Burkina Faso is commendable, but he has not stayed there for long. So why will somebody say that you need 10 years to deliver? You can deliver within a span of 5 years and do remarkable work. If the people so desire that you go back to the office, so be it.
Right.
But after delivering to them.
Wow. It's interesting that you bring up Ibrahim Traore. And just kind of what he represents in these current times that we are living in. As you look at Ibrahim Traore, what does he represent as to what young leadership would look like? Because he is definitely a very young president as we speak. Yeah.
Ibrahim Traore is visionary. He looks at Africa. In fact, he's not just focused in Burkina Faso. The guy is bleeding inside when he sees things that are happening in Africa. He wants good leadership. The guy wants people to be comfortable. He wants the people he represents to feel better. He wants good life for them. And that's why he's doing all that he does. And rumors that is out there. That there are assassination attempts, claims as it out there.
Yes.
And why would somebody be in that break of being assassinated? It's because they're doing something tangible. When you're doing good, everybody will be jealous about you. So those are alleged. We don't have the facts, but they're on the print out there. So I feel like Ibrahim Traore is doing a good job for his country. I think he's taking after the Thomas Sankara, the late. From the history, what we have read, the guy was also thorough in his leadership skills.
Right. So coming back to the Youth Parliament of Kenya, of course, I'm a woman. I have to ask: Are you guys mainstreaming in terms of gender mainstreaming? Are young women interested in political anything? and what is YPK doing on that front in terms of mainstreaming even young women to get into governance spaces as well? I see you have a very wide smile on your face right now.
That's one very interesting topic there. Initially, when we were starting, we noticed that ladies were a bit afraid. And as always, women have been always a bit afraid of taking the lead. But you see nowadays things change. Look at people like Camilo Gezagesa in Parliament, Gladys Wanga, Susan Keika, and name them, the women in Parliament, or some of them have become even governors, At YPK, we noticed that they were a bit hesitant to take the leadership roles, and we started advocating that we need leadership position. Now, what we did, we encouraged them, then some of them showed interest. And we have youth governors.
Right.
We made it a rule within YPK that when you're running for a governor position, as a male, your vice or your deputy should be a female. When you are running for a governor, a youth governor, as a female, your deputy should be a male. we are looking at the gender balance, the 2/3 gender rule. We have a board of directors that should have a minimum of 5 members and a maximum of 9. We have said that at any given point, either gender should be in a ratio of 6:3 at the worst. But we are looking at, can we attain the 2/3 gender rule? And this is a conversation that is very difficult because even in parliament they've still failed to do it. So we are looking at YPK as well. What can we really do much better to ensure this 2/3 gender rules, because we are also having a quest for it. So we are trying that any appointive position, because we have appointive positions, even in the cabinet, we have our cabinet. We are looking at any appointive position in the cabinet, there must be 2/3 gender rule met in it. So we are really looking into it, and our women or our ladies are really showing interest currently, and as they join, they are eager to be leaders as well within the organization.
How are you training up young people to be effective and different? How politics is done in Kenya is it's gruesome. It's they say it's dirty. It's a dirty game.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm very curious to hear whether the work that you're doing at YPK is raising effective leaders, visionary leaders, but in a different way, and kind of reimagining and challenging the status quo that has been the game of political, sort of high octane level politics in Kenya. Yeah, is there something that you guys are challenging the status quo?
One of the challenges that we sent, I saw some people who are appointed to ministerial positions, the CSS, arguing that it doesn't matter whether you are appointed to a certain position. What we are trying to inculcate in YPK, especially in our cabinet appointments, if we have a Ministry of Education, we want somebody who understands something in education. Somebody who maybe has gone to school, has studied to be a teacher. They understand something about
technocracy,
education.
Basically.
Yeah. So we want to bring in technocrats, people who understand, not just people who make noise out there. So what we can challenge even the government, that in all the appointive positions that are being made, especially the appointive ones, let those people who are being appointed have relevant skills in those sectors. If it is about finance, let somebody who has knowledge about finance. And that's what we do at YPK. Most of our cabinet, we have taken these people from LinkedIn. LinkedIn is not like Facebook. LinkedIn, we meet professionals. So we look at your profile. If we are convinced that this person can fill this particular slot, we reach out to you and ask you whether you are interested in such a position and can you deliver. So that's what we are looking into. And we will really want the same to be replicated out here, so that we have people who understand the fields they are appointed to, not a CS or a minister who will wait for information from the down upwards. We want somebody who will give instruction. I want this done like this. If you're a minister of ICT, for example, understand the field. Make sure that you understand all the things that you can't be challenged. Even if you can be challenged, because you might not be all round, but you have the knowledge about it.
Yeah,
so that's something that should be done.
Okay. So with every action, right? We cannot talk about anything without talking or thinking about posterity, right? Posterity, the political sustainability, political pedigree. You want to be able to outlive, for example, the things that you are working on right now at the YPK. So my next question to you is about that. What are the transitional posterity measures that you have, so that after somebody comes into the YPK, you've groomed them, they've become something that can actually get transitioned into national government? Or is there what are some of your posterity measures in terms of the transition into national government? And is that the goal? I should also begin with, is that also the goal? Like when somebody comes to YPK, goes through the process as rigorous as it is it only successful when they make it into national government, or there are other metrics of impact and transformation as well?
Okay, what we are looking into, I'll not be a youth forever.
Sadly.
Yeah, I'll not be a youth forever. There will be a time
Yeah.
I'll be watching the TV and looking back and saying that we did a good thing.
Right.
We want this to continue. We want the continuity. The challenges, we cannot eradicate all of them. There will always be challenges at any particular time.
Affirmative.
It started from the time of Mzee Jomo Kenyatta. Up to now, we still have challenges. Remember when Kenya was getting into the independence, they wanted to eradicate hunger, eradicate foolishness, that is, they wanted good health. But we still struggle with these things up to now. So challenges will always be there. But we want to groom our members and put a structure that can live beyond just now. So what we are doing is, in every regulations that we put in place, in every action that we take, we foresee that the people coming after us either advance it or maintain it. It depends with the situation at that particular point. Yes.
Wow. What are some of the philosophies at YPK that you ground yourself on, the principles that govern the way that you do the work that you do?
Some of our principles that we need a teamwork.
Okay.
Teamwork gives you the voice. We need people who are genuine. So honesty is one of the things that we are looking into. Hard work, you need to be consistent and work always towards the goal. Yeah.
So we are living in a very politically tumultuous time. Like you can attest to this, right? And I mean, it has not. It has always been like this, but mostly heightened, especially after the June 2024 anti-finance protest. I think something drastically changed in the political, social makeup of this country. And might I also add, young people at the center of everything that we are living in right now. So when you look back at 2024 and you look at the time that we are in, it's 1 year since the very historical moment that happened within the protest that took the world by storm. What do you think that revolution means for the young people of Kenya, and how do we even sustain the momentum so that you're not just coming here, maybe for example as YPK, and grooming the next cohort of young people that are only power focused instead of looking at the issues that they have come, the issues that have already been presented to them. So in light of the moment that we are currently living in, what would be the sustenance of the momentum?
All right. We tell the youth, don't be power hungry. Don't be greedy. Because where it starts is greediness. Remember, even the time of protest of 2024, June 2024, it's alleged there were youths who were being paid to interfere with the process, to take another direction, while others are going through a different direction.
Yeah.
The youth needs to pull together. I always say, and as made it my quote, that nothing is for the youth without the youth.
Right.
So we must be present. So once we are present, we must have a direction. And direction, if you are power hungry, you become greedy. And when you are greedy, you'll be looking for money, and that's where corruption come in. And it will be like, it's me. I want to get there fast. I want to tell you, Anne, that today, many people join politics not to lead, not to deliver, but to get rich.
Wow.
Because they know very well
that
politics is the shortest route to amass the wealth.
Right.
They know very well that when I'm a leader, I will manipulate my ways and get that money. So many people, a few are good, but many people join politics today to amass wealth. And that's greediness, and that's why corruption is too rampant.
Right.
And dealing with corruption, it has been said many times, this is a cancer. Treating it has become very difficult. It needs a very radical leader at the top seat to deal with it. Yeah, because I believe the president is so powerful, despite working within the confines of the constitution, the president has the mandate to eradicate corruption from all levels of governance. So we are looking into it by ensuring that the youth comes together, they have their voice, and have a spirit of Ubuntu, the Ubuntu spirit, being selfless. Just be there, because leadership is not only when you get elected. There are leaders out here. Leadership is not only when you get to parliament. You can be a leader in a parastatal. Right. Maybe you're given, even at Power Radio, there is an MD. I don't know the structure you have. Maybe there is an MD, there is a finance officer. Those are leadership roles. And when you are not trustworthy, you cannot lead those roles.
Yes.
So transparency is something key. The spirit of Ubuntu is key. And we need to be accountable in every action.
Wow. What are some of the biggest barriers to youth inclusion in leadership? Because it's a clear frustration. Yeah.
Intimidation. So many youths get intimidated. They can't express themselves. Number two, financial constraints. For example, now at YPK, everything that we have been doing is either money from our own pockets. Nobody sponsors us.
It's self-funded?
Yeah, nobody sponsors. We don't have a sponsor. We are building, and we will realize that there are things that we need to do. Now we have even a launch coming.
Okay.
And we don't have that money.
When? And can Power Radio come to be the official media partner?
You can. But it can be joy. It can be joy.
Yeah.
So we have the launch in August 30th. We still don't have that money.
Okay.
We need to source that money.
Right.
We need to start from within.
Yeah.
So financial constraints is also a big problem. Number three, people who have been there don't want to give the space for the young people. They feel like you are not experienced. You don't have the knowledge. You should just be there, instead of bringing them close and showing them the way. Remember, even in political parties, we have youth wing. All political parties, in their constitutions, they are required to have the youth
leagues.
These youth leagues are not active.
They are ceremonial.
It's very apparent because things are happening, but you don't see them call press conferences. You don't see them talk about the things that are happening in the country, right? So these are challenges that needs to be curbed. There are challenges that we need to make a conversation around.
Right. As we conclude our conversation, because I do see that we are really pressed for time. So right now, how do people get in touch with YPK? What are the criteria for joining? Is it even open to every young person of Kenya? And how do they join the movement? How do they plug in with the work that you guys are doing?
Okay, and as we wrap up, and before then, I want also to take this opportunity to send my condolences to the family of young man, 31 years old, Albert Ojwang.
Yes.
And where I sit, I will really want the top government or President William Ruto to really take stern action in this, because sometimes, as the president, you are the one who makes the major appointments. Though there are criteria that are being done when these appointments are done, but you still have the power. We need to deal with impunity. I think the rate at which impunity is increasing in this country is so high. We can't be in a country where abductions are just done anyhow. People are just being killed anyhow.
And no one is held to account.
Remember, if you kill a young man like Ojwang is now gone, you are killing the future generation. If you kill a young person who is a youth, you are killing the nation, because who will build it? It is the young people who have the energy.
Yes.
The old guards are going. Their time is winding up. And the young will become old. So this must be a continuity. If you silence them, you are making them to be silent, that I can't post anything on social media, that I can't talk because I will be abducted, because I will be killed. Then you are silencing the voice that will help you when you are now at 90 and walking with a stick.
That's right.
When now you will want pesa ya wazee back in the village, but you had silenced that voice, they will not speak. So the rate at which impunity is increasing should be dealt with. And I ask the president to really deal with this. And the police force, the army, I think there are laws that governs them. We don't need rogue people in the police force. When there are rogue people, there are killers in the police force, then we are killing our nation.
Yes.
These are the people we expect to protect us. They need to give us protection. I need to walk freely in my country. We are in a country from the Constitution 2022, a country of freedom of speech. Though you cannot go around also abusing people.
Right.
But somebody who just talking facts and talking about things that are affecting people don't need to be killed. Yeah, that young guy never deserved death.
At all.
Yeah, he didn't deserve death.
Yeah.
If he did anything wrong and somebody felt like this is wrong, we have courts.
We have a legal system,
Why then do we have even judges? Then the people should not even do these things. We should just say we are in a banana republic and move on.
Yeah.
So that was uncalled for.
Yes.
And I hope
everybody should be put to book.
Yeah.
Yes.
And IPOA needs to step up and they need to do their work. The strong institution, we need to have strong institutions that are independent.
We do. Yeah.
That they can do their work. Whether you are the president, you should be held accountable for your action. Whether you are a minister, because you are put there by the people. It's the power of the people that puts you there.
Yes.
Having said that, I think I'll answer the question of how people can join YPK. We have made it easier to follow us.
Okay.
All our social media platforms,
Yes.
be it Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, all of them just use at YPK 254.
Okay.
Then you can reach out to us on WhatsApp via 0768886787.
We will capture that and link it on our description box below.
Yeah. Or 0733 886-787. I think those are the way. Then we have a link to register. YPK registration is open to all youths aged 18 to 35 years.
Is it free?
Yeah, it is free.
Okay.
It's free up to the time we will do the launch.
Okay.
After the launch, now there will be a fee because there are people who have struggled to build it up to that point. Of course, even if you join even other parties, there is a registration fee, membership fee, but it is one-time registration.
Yeah.
The money is just to help us run the organization, the administrative roles. You need to print, you need to do what, such kind of things.
Right.
Yeah.
What do you hope the legacy of YPK is going to be, even as we wrap up our conversation?
I want the legacy of YPK to be a movement that really brought change in governance to this country.
Yeah.
Yes.
Your clarion call to young people, how can young people not stay back, do not withhold? How do they politically move forward and get involved in everything that affects them?
For every young Kenyan out there, take your space, be on the guard, speak out, go for the seats, compete, and make sure you also have your space to deliver what you aspire.
Wow. I think that's a very good place to end our conversation this morning. But of course, we can never have enough conversations. We have to have this more and more and more because, as you said, the challenges that we face are perennial. They will happen intergenerationally, and so we have to keep at it. But Mr. Maxwell Owaka, thank you so much for the privilege of your time and also for the amazing work that you guys are doing at YPK. We will have a very close look at what exactly you are doing in charting the way forward and opening up the space for young, meaningful political involvement and engagement.
And I ask Power Radio
Yeah.
to help us advocate for the young people
Absolutely. Yes.
to join the Youth Parliament of Kenya.
We will. Yes, we will. There's always going to be space for collaboration. Right. To everybody who was able to join us this Friday, thank you so much for opening, plugging into our conversation this morning. We have been speaking to the President and CEO at the Youth Parliament of Kenya, Mr. Maxwell Owaka there, and you've heard from his sentiments that they are not letting down young people of Kenya. They've decided that they're going to chart a way forward and ensure that every young person's voice is heard. Every young person in Kenya is heard, whether it be engaging them in political rallies, whether it be them having the shadow government or shadow parliament or what not. It's clear that it is really time for young people to be involved in matters governance as well as political and political undertakings. That's it for me for now. It's goodbye. I will see you on Monday. This Monday, we shall be talking about the creative economy and the story of one Mr. Mark Ondoro. Such amazing work that he's doing back in his home county, back in Kisumu, and how he is creating the opportunity for young people in the creative sector to express themselves, but also to speak into the current times that we are currently living in. So it's a conversation that we shall be having on Monday from 8 a.m. all the way till 10 a.m. I leave you in the very safe and able hands of Caroline Murote. She comes in at 11 a.m. With Shiva Sessions show. And then later on, we will have Power Up, of course, as we do it. And then our resident reggae nerd, Miss Flozz Munyiri, comes in from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. For all that reggae niceness. Have yourself a fantastic weekend, and I will see you on Monday, same time, same place. God bless. Goodbye for now.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Mastingo ni zake mandingo. Natoka klabu wa mwisho kwa mfuko ni zero la wamani ya kesho. El Capitan, napenda usherati na warembo malisa, Mwili mechoka, lakini bado ninagodha. Anarumbosa, ni mina wacho hana ngodha. Ni demo umoja, na ameomoka. Situko mavitu, na tunazoza. Kama uko nervous, tonga kijaba, usijelala. Kuna walevi wamekuja wamenyanya, akina dada wanataka biringanya. Ndio sherehe imeanza, kwa sherehe utatupata, Ukifika kwenye party, statement ya kifahari, marashi za bei ghali, Diona Versace, chini piga Nike, na pamba safari na shingo ziwe icy, Sub-Zero fatality. Malo kudonjo kwenye shere, style deadly, kila mtu na mbebe. DJ ongeza tena speakers iheme, watu wacheze kuna rambo na ndiamo. Washika wako kila mtu obrigado, kumatumbo chopoko miela nyere. Kineno kairo dunga na koro liriembo jochende. Kodon, kodon. Washa kishaga, kama uko nervous, tonga kijaba, usijelala. Kuna walevi wamekuja wamenyanya, akina dada wanataka biringanya. Ndio sherehe imeanza, kwa sherehe utatupata. kwa sherehe utatupata.
Okay, fine. I have a 100 bob in my pocket. Nataka nikunywa 40 shillings. 60 shillings ni fair.
So blessed you don't like it.